Hello there, I'm Kev F, the host of Comic Cuts, the panel show, your favourite podcast about comics. There's a new season coming up, but ahead of that, here's a little fun item for you. In the usual show, I get guests in and they bring in a panel of a comic and we talk about it. But I've been doing this sort of thing for quite a long time, and to give you an idea of how long, here's a snippet of a recording that was made by me and my friend Steve Noble, my school friend Steve Noble, who you will know as Shameful Steve, the podcaster. We went to the UK Comic Art Convention, UCAC as it was known, in 1982. And we recorded interviews with Steve Moore and Alan Moore, Richard Burton, the then editor of 2000 AD, and the legendary artist Steve Dillon, who was then as young as we are now. Sadly, he's no longer with us. Now, we recorded quite a long interview that I cut down into a very small article for the fanzine Fantasy Advertiser, and the tape quality is atrocious. But here is a tiny little 10-minute snippet of Steve Dillon, who was then working for Warrior Comic in 1982.
You said last year when we asked you in passing that you thought comic strips, and especially the comic strips you were doing, should be basically black and white done on cheap paper or something to that effect. They shouldn't be.
I probably said that more in humour. I think there's room for everything. I mean, one day I might want to do a slick airbrush thing on great paper. I'd like the freedom to be able to do that. I don't like people who say all comics should be done on happy paper.
Yeah,
I mean, you shouldn't cut things off like that. You're cutting off opportunities, you're cutting off areas of exploration if you say it should be done this way. It should be any way you want to do it, as long as somebody wants to read it. Even if nobody wants to read it. You have to put up with the idea of doing the work and not getting paid for it in that case.
Yeah.
But you should have the freedom to do it.
Your two Warrior covers so far have been coloured by Gary Leach. But I saw the colour work you did for, it was the Superman annual, wasn't it, and the Batman annual cover. Do you like doing colour work?
I've done very little of it. And again, whenever I go into new areas, I tend to have a lot of nerves. The Batman cover I did for Vanessa, the Edmund annuals, was the first bit of professional colour work I'd done. And I don't think it was particularly good. I think it was adequate. I think it was just adequate. With the Warrior covers, the first one, me and Gary worked quite closely on the colour roughs.
You know, the illustration appeared 3 months before in Stars of Degradation.
Yeah, that was, we did work very closely on that, so I was learning a lot about colour work. But Gary actually did the physical work of colouring up the Kevmere print. He didn't colour on the original, it was on the Kevmere print. So Steve Moore now owns the black and white original of that cover. And there's the only full colour version is a Kevmere print, about that, the original size, which Gary coloured up. Beautiful.
Coloured with inks?
Doc Martens he used. He likes Doc Martens.
So actually, it was the cover number 4 Rush job, because all of a sudden it was from an advert on the back cover, it became the front cover.
That was originally, it was going to be for a summer special, which was separate from Warrior. But due to various things that happened, it went on
It was always
Warrior
intended
4.
to be used that way.
It was going to be used as a cover, and Des, being an economical chap, he saves us all money by doing that, because we've all got a share in any money that comes into Warrior. Tries to use things in the best way possible, wherever possible. And I think that makes quite a good advert.
That's rather good, actually, because IPC do that, and if they put a cover on 2000 AD, they did it with Ace Trucking recently, and they've done it with Judge Dredd as well.
Yeah.
They take a panel and blow it up.
Sensible way of doing it.
Yeah, but they don't pay they didn't pay Massimo for that.
Well, Des doesn't pay any more to me for reusing that, but then he shouldn't have to, because it's saving me money as well. Because if you've got somebody to draw up an advert, whether it's me or anyone else, that comes off the cost of Warrior. Therefore, it cuts down the profits, therefore it cuts down our possible bonuses. It also makes Warrior a less viable enterprise, so wherever you can save money, we're behind him. As long as he doesn't get silly, and he hasn't got silly yet.
That certainly does seem really good that you're all in it together. That is quite surprising.
It's a siege situation. Laughs.
Oh, he's bailiff.
Right. Bracket, close bracket. Because Des, I can understand saying everyone is in it together, but yeah, it's quite good to hear that everyone actually.
There's a lot of commitment behind it. I mean, like Dave Lloyd is really very committed. I mean, I admire Dave Lloyd. Anything he really gets involved in, he'll get involved in. Yeah. Because he's going to be committed to it. He won't go into anything half-heartedly.
The SSI is something that Dave's got very much involved in. The way he sells those newsletters, that's amazing.
He's a very dedicated man. Sometimes, I mean, I could never do it. Sometimes I think he takes it to extremes, but if he thinks it's worth it, then it is worth it for him to do it, because he must enjoy it.
You're from Luton, which is a lot nearer to London than anywhere I've heard.
Too right. It made a difference. That 30 miles made a difference. It really did. But, I mean, for one thing, it's a lot of it's psychological. You feel cut off to a certain extent. Money was one reason, because if you wanted to get to London, it cost £6.
Yeah.
£3 there, £3 back on the train. Because you couldn't guarantee on. I mean, if you had to rush there, you couldn't guarantee on getting the cheap day return and being able to use it again. Often I bought a cheap day return, I had to buy a ticket at the other end because I wanted to come back in the rush hour. So on the average, it cost £6, and I didn't always have £6 to throw around. So somebody rang up and said, "We'd like you to do so if you can pick up the script today," because they didn't have time to mail it to me. And it was awkward. Now, if I nip on a bus, 60p, I can be wherever I need to be.
Yeah.
And there's more of a social life down there for people who work at home on their own. That's important.
Yeah, the area.
People you meet, it's the people you meet, and you tend to meet a lot of people through your work, so a lot of your friends tend to be involved with your work.
Yeah.
But London does offer more opportunities to get involved with various things. I mean, it was important to me, this whole area of it, because I went from a college environment, which I was really enjoying, that 3 months was a very happy 3 months, to living life of a monk, because I wanted to learn how to draw comics, and I had 3 pages a week. I didn't have much time to do anything else.
Yeah.
Then when all my friends from Luton went to colleges all around the country, like Birmingham, Coventry, Plymouth, whatever, I was left without even people to go to the pub with at weekends. And after a while, that gets rather depressing. So I decided I'd make the break and come down here. So I took a risk, and I spent half my week not working. I just came down here and I slept on floors, and rides to tea was well used by me. Just as somewhere to stay. I used to come down, drink, miss the last train, and stay somewhere. And that was a fun period as well. I didn't earn much money during that time. So I made the permanent move down there, and it's been more worth it. It's that feeling of isolation, which is in many ways psychological. It's not purely geographical. And even if you don't have to go out to the office, just knowing that opportunity is there is good. It does help your enthusiasm. Because at times when you're a bit depressed with your work, everything that's wrong will come up in your mind. Like, well, I'm not enjoying this, and I'm stuck in Luton. And it all starts coming up, and it doesn't help.
Yeah.
I mean, the closer you are into centre, that's one less thing you've got to worry about. I mean, maybe I'm peculiar in this. Maybe I'm paranoid about where I am in relation to the industry. Probably something wrong with my character.
Don't go over the coincidence of actually meeting you in Bristol the other week.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
I walked out of a print shop, having just filled out the forms for the Comic-Con, the only time I ever see Steve in 3 years, you know. I walked out of a print shop in Bristol, it's Steve.
I'm walking down the road, visiting Paul Neary. He said, "What's Paul Neary doing in Bristol?" He works there.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Which agencies do you work for?
Programmes advertising.
Never heard of it.
That was this.
You found Queen Square in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I found Queen Square. I had to ask a few other people for Mr. Copper, actually. I made it in the end. He's having a good time as well.
Is he?
Well, he's transferred his whole work and his social life down to Bristol. He's had time problems with doing Madman. He was writing it for a while, and Nick Austin was drawing it. God knows what's going to happen in the near future. Paul told me he'd like to draw it again. But I don't know, maybe he'll decide that it's not worth the hassle to him. I don't know, it depends how much he's enjoying
in Paul Neary's start, isn't he?
Mick's had to compromise to a certain extent to make the change less jarring. I want to see Mick do something purely in his own style. His Mark Man cover is a beautiful piece of work. Probably it's my favourite thing.
I saw that on the dummy. That's lovely. I didn't know who'd done it at all.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's a great piece of colour work.
Marvel Man's zooming out of the water.
With the light, there's sort of flashes of light on the water droplets.
Sounds marvellous.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
He's a genius at colour work.
How old is Nick?
I don't know. Whenever I ask him, he says 38, but he's not 38. I don't know, middle 20s, I think.
Because you're younger than us.
You're younger than me.
I'm 20.
You're 20.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I put a lot of it down to my lucky break in meeting the right people at the right time. But these, I think, things like the Comic-Con and the Comic Marts, the Westminster Comic Marts, serve a great purpose in bringing some of the professionals together. I mean, like I said, I was very conscious of being isolated.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I reckon that is a pretty standard thing amongst comic professionals. And I reckon we do relish the prospect of seeing each other every month.
What about the SSI?
Within the SSI, there's a bit of dissension about whether it should be purely a social club or more a business thing. Yeah, I hesitate to use the term, but Yeah, I mean more
and
unions.
that's what it is. I mean,
Or an
business
agency
built
is another aspect, an agency, whether the SSI should be an agency for comic artists, get them advertising work, whatever. But it is very valuable, again, for meeting certain people. I meet people at the SSI I won't meet at comic marts. Some of the older professionals who don't come to the comic marts.
Yeah.
I mean, the staunch British comic artists.
Are Wagner and Grant members of the SSI?
They used to be, they may still be, but I haven't seen them at meetings for a while.
Yeah.
The only time I get to see them is at 2000 AD functions.
Yeah.
I haven't had that much opportunity to chat to Alan. I chatted to John, he's a nice bloke as well. I mean, there's not many people in comics I don't like. I don't know, maybe that's just common interest, I don't know, but it seems to be packed out with wonderful people. Can't wait to see Mick McMahon's latest stuff.
God, no, it's been weird. It's a year since you saw anything.
I know. I mean, because he's been working on Mirror Man. I'm not sure how much of this Mirror Man stuff can go into an interview, though. No, you can't.
You really don't?
Not many people are meant to know it even exists.
We were wondering actually because the Human League's next single's called Mirror Man, which is
Maybe a time, I'm not
maybe
sure.
Talk did a Mirror Man single as well. So.
I mean, everyone's got something to offer. I mean, some people I like their work more than others, but that's opinion.
Give us some examples.
Well, I love Mick McMahon's work. I like Kev O'Neill's work. I like Dave Gibbons' work. I like Dave Lloyd's work. I like Gary Leach's work. Most people I do know, I happen to like their work as well. Maybe I don't know whether that's because I know them. But it does come down to opinions, and I do change my opinions as well. I mean, I never used to like Mick McMahon's work. But I used to think it was, and this was before I started being a professional, when I took this 2000 AD stuff. I didn't see what anybody saw in it. And it wasn't until I was working in the industry a while that I really started appreciating it. Until now, I think he's doing some of the most exciting stuff in British comics.
There you have it. That was the wonderful and sadly missed Steve Dillon talking way back in 1982, interviewed by myself and Steve Noble at UCAC in London. And Comic Cuts, the panel show, your favourite podcast about comics, will be resuming soon wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, if you're enjoying this episode of Comic Cuts, the panel show, don't forget there's an entire back catalogue and a first season for you to catch up on. My guests have included comic folk like Brian Bolland, Rachel Smith, Metafrog, Gary Northfield, Nigel Octoloony, Nigel Parkinson, Laura Howell, Sonia Long, David Leitch. We've had the comics laureate Hannah Berry, resident alien creator Peter Hogan, podcasters like Adam Roach, legendary singer-songwriter Dean Friedman, Jessica Martin. The list of comedians includes Ashley Storey, Bethany Black, Will Hodgson, Paul Carenza, Izzy Lawrence, Doug Siegel. There is too many to list. And they've brought in comics from Marvel and DC to the Bunty and the Eagle, from Robert Crumb to Viz, webcomics, obscure manga, all points in between. And sometimes we don't talk about comics at all. Don't forget to click and subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. For example, what could these two be talking about?
With a swastika on his shirt, he's got his trousers down, his bum out, and he's standing with his feet in a bucket of pig shit on a stage. There's lots of people looking behind him, and he's saying, oh yes, I can feel it coming out now. Go on, fuck off out of it, you blasted queen.
Comic Cuts. We're looking at a panel, and we comprise a panel. There's a few of us, so the panel sees a panel, and we talk about the comics from the panel we discuss, and we call it Comic Cuts.